Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about ways to protect your respiratory system when working in your workshop. Dust is a wonderful thing. When you're in a workshop and you work and everything is full of dust, you kind of feel that you're doing something. I love it. But you don't want to have any of that dust in your nose, in your lungs. Wood dust is toxic. It's not healthy, and so you need to protect yourself. Epoxy resin dust is even worse. If you work with epoxy resin and especially when you sand it, all that dust, you don't want to have that in your lungs. And I often watch videos of people showing how they do things with epoxy resin, sanding it and just being all white and covered of epoxy resin dust, no mask, no protection. And I'm like, oh my God, it's awful. So my main message is like, you have to protect yourself. And I have gone through an evolution of different ways of protecting myself against dust. And I have made recently like a wonderful discovery that is like a game changer for me. And so I want to walk through the different ways of protecting yourself. And it's also increasing obviously in price, because the better protection, it's kind of the more expensive it is. And I would like to walk through the different ways to protect yourself and explain to you the pros and the cons so you can decide for yourself. All right? Let's start with the easiest protection that some people use, which is the very simple mask that is very famous because of all the COVID rules and these kind of things. Right? And so these are cheap. They cost, I don't know, 10, 20, 50 cents. And you put them on, and when you put them on, they protect yourself a little bit. But those masks are no good. They're no good because they're not really closing your respiratory system. So through the sides, dust can go in. They also get soaked and wet really quickly, so you should change them regularly. And yeah, it's the cheapest and easiest way, and it's kind of like also, especially in the beginning, more comfortable than others because you can actually still breathe from the sides, but that is exactly the problem. Through the sides, you will get dust into your lungs, and you don't want that. So in general, even if I still use those because they're laying around and it's just something quick, I would recommend you to not use that and use better protection because your life is worth more than just 10 cents. All right? That's the first thing. Okay, so after I realized those masks are no good, I watched around and found another mask which I have used a lot, which is something like that. These masks have a couple of advantages. They have filters in there, and so the typical filters you get in there are like the P2 filters, so they protect against wood dust and epoxy resin dust. And the good thing is that you have here that rubber piece that closes in on your nose and mouth. If you have a beard like me, it doesn't work that well, so it's not ideal to have a beard with that, but it's obviously better than nothing. And so you take that mask and you put it on like that. All right? And that way you're protecting yourself against dust. This is a good protection. This mask has a couple of disadvantages too. One is that when you work with this for 10 to 20 minutes, a lot of moisture starts to collect like inside this, and it starts to become really disgusting. And so you start to move it around because it's not really comfortable, and so dust comes in, or you need to take a break and clean it and continue. So that's not super convenient. Another problem with that is the following. There are situations where you want to protect everything. Your respiratory system, but also your eyes and your ears. Imagine if you're, for instance, using a planer or maybe a circular saw, right? So when you cut with a circular saw, they can always like chips of the wood can fly out and into your eyes, so you need to protect your eyes. And it's also really loud, so you want to protect your ears. And so there's a problem with that, and I'll show you. You put that on like this, the glass, this one here. That's really uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, the glass presses like everything together. It's not, you can do that for a couple minutes, but it was a pain. So I was like, there has to be a better way to protect yourself against everything that is a little bit more comfortable. And I found it. There is a better way, and that's this mask here. Now we're starting more and more to go into like war zone, and you kind of like look somebody who's protecting yourself against like serious gas attacks. This one here has, you're protecting your eyes with this visor here. You have the same filters like the other one, but it's a lot more comfortable. You put that on, it has still the problem that moisture gets collected in here. It's hard to breathe. The same way here, like you are breathing yourself, the air, through those filters. The dust is filtered out, but it's actually more difficult to breathe. And if with this, you put on the ear protections, it's actually pretty comfortable. So it solves the problem of having to use all the protections and being uncomfortable. It's much more comfortable. But it still has the disadvantage that after working for a while on this, it gets uncomfortable because of the humidity, and so that is not ideal. All right, and that brings me to the final solution, to the game changer, right? And so before I go there, I have to provide a caveat, right? So these things are not that expensive, right? You can get masks like those two for $30 to $50 easily, and so that's not that much money to protect your health, and so it's affordable. The solution I have discovered now, which I love, is much more expensive. It's more than $500, and so if you're just a hobbyist, that might be not affordable to you, so I understand that, right? But if you're working regularly with wood, I would consider buying this to protect your health, because your health is also worth more than $500. So what is that solution? It's this mask here, and I'll leave links to all of those things in the description in case you're interested to learn more. This mask here is from a brand called JSP, and it has here a battery. This battery, it's very easy. You can unplug it here like that, and there is a charger. You charge it, and it has juice for 8 hours. Right. So you just put that in, you plug it in, and what this does is it pumps air through those filters into the mask. You have, again, a visor here that protects your eyes, and you have here like some cloth, and this cloth has a bunch of holes here, and there's no dust coming in through those holes because the air that flows into your mask creates like a pressure, and so it blows the air out here. That's a place where it leaves. If you have a beard, that's no problem. It works really well because here, like you put it in here and you have your face inside, and you have fresh air. Like, I cannot explain it to you. You have to use it. It's actually wonderful. Like, it's even easier to breathe with this than without in the workshop. So you put it on, you press the button, you hear the engine, you press the button, and you have fresh air. It's like even a little bit of a cooling effect. So it's like cool, it's nice. I have worked the other day with this for 1.5 hours without taking it off. Not kidding you. This here is also hard, so it's a head protection. It's like a helmet. And you can very easily put your ear protections over that. So I'll show you, right? I turn this on. You turn it off and that's it. This is a game changer. I am going to use this all the time for now. I use it like when I produce dust, obviously, but also when I work with like different power tools and so on. I use these headphones that connect to my phone and I can listen to music. And so sometimes I have it like just on for hours and I don't even notice. So I love this thing. I know it's expensive, right? I understand if you can't afford it, totally. If you can afford it, would highly recommend it to you. It will change your life when working in your workshop with dust. Protect well your respiratory system and make it even more comfortable to work. All right, those were the different solutions. If you can't afford this, the other masks are really fine. They protect you well. It's not as comfortable, so obviously go for the cheaper ones if you don't have the money. The most important thing is that you protect yourself against dust because you love working with wood, and that means you want to work with wood for many years, right? You don't want to have health problems that then prevent you from doing what you love. All right, that was it. I hope this little journey through the masks and the mask system helps you to speed up that process and not go through multiple iterations of that like I did. If you liked the video, thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you around.